Oh, hi there, big boys. Welcome to my review of Mulaka for Nintendo Switch. This is a really great game. Imagine Breath of the Wild mixed with God of War, Ninja Gaiden, some other spectacle fire. Mix that with a tribal backdrop and you've got Mulaka. It's just a really good game. It's an idea I never thought would work. The exploration elements are great. Most levels are large, vast, loads to explore, and you can randomly find stuff pretty much everywhere you go. The combat's pretty decent, obviously nowhere near the levels of a AAA adventure fighting game, but it works perfectly well and it's pretty fun and satisfying to use. However, one sort of pet peeve I've got is the dodge button is set to circle, which I wish was set to a trigger button instead, so you don't have to move your thumb so much in combat. It's just a pain sometimes. And also, another thing regarding the combat which I'm not a big fan of is the spear. You come with this sort of, you've got melee attacks with your spear, but you can also throw your spear for range attacks, but this is a pain to use just because it's really sort of, even if you move it only a bit, it seems to go further than you want, and then the enemy always seems to move by that point anyway, and also you've got to stop moving to use it. It's just really annoying. But luckily on the Switch anyway, there's Gyro Controls that will allow you to slightly only move it, which does help a bit, but even then it's just a bit of a pain. You unlock these summon-like things throughout the game, which allow you to turn into different types of animals, which are used for puzzles, traversal, combat. Varies up the game a bit, makes you feel like you're growing and getting stronger throughout the game, and this game has a sort of a light Metroidvania aspect, so go back to past levels and with your new abilities get to different places, which I think is pretty fun. You also get these potions that change your characters, such as health potions, shield potions, I won't say anymore due to spoilers, potions. You have to search the environment to get the materials to make them. It promotes exploration, but it can get a bit annoying at times. Using potions are also a bit of a pain since there's an animation that plays every time that lasts about 3 to 5 seconds, which means that there's 5 seconds of which you could be hit. That's probably the point, so you have to be wary of using them in battle, but it can be a bit unfair, especially with certain bosses. Speaking of the bosses, they're mostly pretty good. The bosses vary from straight up star sponges to puzzle bosses to even platforming puzzles. I think this is great since it adds a lot of variance to the game and makes each area and boss feel more different than just a reskin with more health. There are these water puzzles which have you moving the stone river equivalents, which I just love. I can't really describe it to you other than just imagine there's one big water container and you want to get to the other type of water container, and by doing that you sort of route the water using these rivers and you can smash them to change direction. It's really fun. I just love how smooth the water looks because it just fits so well, the art style and looks beautiful. The puzzles are pretty fun in themselves and they're always designed brilliantly. They're never annoyingly designed, they're always just perfectly designed to the point of you knowing what you've got to do and knowing how to do it, but you can't just spam, ideas until it works. They're just fun. I just love them, and they help change the game up a bit because that was one of the problems with some of the later areas, is that they started to reduce those puzzle mechanics and started to just do regular punches and fighting, and it's like anyway. The game has got lots of content. It took me about 4 hours to get half through the world map. There are lots of secrets and collectibles to find the previous maps due to its Metroidvania-like design, where your new powers you gain can be used in previous levels to gain access to new areas. As well as that, each area feels different, with new mechanics and themes too, so the game feels fresh for the entirety of its runtime. Story is, it's a weird one. It's a bit like Dark Souls in a way that it hasn't really got an invasive storyline. But it's decent, and it seems to have quite a bit of lore, but it can be completely ignored. It doesn't impact the gameplay at all. Apparently the game is based on a tribe who are known for running, which is an interesting concept and a new idea for a theme. Works pretty well too. I think it's a nice idea. Runs okay on the Switch, 30 FPS most of the time, but I've noticed drops down to about 20 FPS, and also had this weird problem where my frame rate almost halved. It seemed to go to 15 FPS at one point, but then I restarted my Switch and it ran fine. So could have just been my Switch at that point, just like messing up for some reason. I don't know. The game looks great due to its art style. It's a nice sort of low poly sort of thing. Although the renderings can look a bit poor if you're high in the air, which does happen if you're using a certain summon, which I will not mention due to spoilers. Overall, this game is great. I honestly recommend everyone plays it. If you're going to play it on a Switch or a PC or wherever, it doesn't matter. Just play it because it's really fun. It's just really well designed. It's fun to play. It's just a lot of fun. I'm just, yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna play it as soon as this review is done, just to try and go back to the old areas or something. But there's this. It feels. I mean, the fact that I'm in the old areas, I once you complete them, you tend to have about 50% for the area done. It says 50% as a completion, so it means there's obviously loads of stuff to do back in the old areas. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's it really. Thanks for watching, big boys. I'll see you some point in time, and bye.